Hello and welcome to another edition of the Navy Sports Magazine. We're presented by our friends at the Navy Federal Credit Union. Pleased to shine the light on Navy men's track and field. Josh Boamah joins us right now. And Josh, obviously people can go to navysports.com and see a laundry list a mile long of the things that you've been able to accomplish as part of this Navy men's track and field program. But for you, entering the Naval Academy, certainly track and field has been a part of your life. Could you have ever imagined that this type of success would come your way, especially showing consistency of improvement, competing against obviously the highest level here at the Division I level?
I mean, it's obviously what everyone would hope for that, you become the best, and that's what I strive for a lot. But I mean, yeah, it's all God. I gotta thank him because, like, I mean, as a league, looking up at the record books and all that stuff, lofty goals, is what you said. So it's like, a long term, like a 4 year goal is like, oh yeah, I want to beat the record. I want to be this. I want to be this. I want to, be the very best. So it's like it's really interesting, being actually being able to like, look back on it and be like, wow, I actually did accomplish everything. So like I've had a lot of time in track and field, and I work hard, and I I do a lot with my friends to make sure that I'm able to get to the point where I'm at right now, and it's amazing that it's all paid off. Like so well. I couldn't have asked for anything more than all the achievements that I've got up to this point. So it's like it's pretty amazing to look back on it and realize it's like we're finally here. We finally did everything that we've set that I set out to do. So it's pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing.
I talk to athletes all the time, their families, and depending on the sport, lacrosse, fastest way to get on the field, be a goalie. Baseball, be a catcher. Folks aren't lining up to play those positions. As a thrower, how much of a population of throwers did you run into on your team growing up? And was that a path, obviously, where hey, I can be involved in this right away, and obviously you've done very well with it.
Yeah, no, it was interesting getting into it. I'm a soccer player by trade. I played it since I was like 4 years old, and where I grew up in San Diego, and I was lucky to have like a club track and field thing that I could go to in order to prepare for soccer. So that's what my dad initially sent me to track for. But I hate running. I can run, but I do not like it. I'm like 6'3", 200 pounds, so I've never been in that great. It always hurts, right? So whenever I go to this practice, I'd have to run. And then one day I saw that these guys were throwing javelin over by the side. I was like, man, they're not running today. So I went to try and pick that up. But it was really just one person, one coach throwing javelin. Um, so it's like it's very niche. It's very niche. And I picked it up. I ended up being pretty good at it, and I stuck with it through like middle school and high school. Um, and it's like a very niche talent, even though it's like I would say it's a pretty like raw talent. You got to be yeah, what we say is like a ball of just like fast twitch muscle in order to do like all the things that shot put, discus, hammer, and weight throw require you to. But it's yeah, there isn't very much glory in like throwing shot put, weight, discus, or javelin or anything like that. It's like whenever you ask or whenever someone asks, like, "Oh man, like you're a big guy, you probably play football, right?" And you say, "Oh no, I play track," and then like, "Track? Wait, so what do you do?" And it's like, obviously, I'm a 1,000 meter runner, but it's like no one it doesn't very often happen where someone guesses that, oh, I throw, and it's like, oh, I do shot put, I do discus, and then they do the whole like, oh, like the it's like, yeah, yeah, that's me. But it's great. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's like I love what I do. So I mean, if I could go back and do it again, I 100% do it the same way. But yeah, there isn't. I mean, there isn't much glory in it. Not too many people know what goes on in the track and field, or really just like the field setting of things. So it's fine. But it's it's all love because it's like me and my buddies know what we do and we do a good job at it. So it's a good gig.
I was going to say, don't worry, big fella. There's plenty of glory in it. They still hang a medal around your neck at the end for the champion and when you get on that podium. But each one of those events requires a different technique and a different discipline. Just how difficult is it? Because I mean, people don't, people that just watch, the Olympics and things of that nature, they don't understand the detail. They don't understand the possibilities of foot faults and all kinds of different things that go along with this. But which one of them was the hardest one in your mind to master along the way here?
Oh man, uh, I don't even know if I could say. It's like they're all hard in their own ways. They're all very hard in their own ways. I think the one that I've had the most trouble with is probably shot put or discus. I haven't seen as much success in shot put and discus as I did in hammer until this year. So it's really great. But like I've been throwing them for the longest, which is also the thing. So like I have the most hours behind them, but I haven't improved as much as I like as much as I have in hammer or in the weight throw. Um, but at the same time, the hammer and the weight throw is like I picked up youngster year, or I mean freshman year here, and like those are pretty like that is a pretty hard event. Like that, like hammer is a very hard event. It goes really quickly, and trying to fit everything in that's like center or in the ring is like really hard. Um, and like you're trying to release the ball at like 40, 50 miles an hour. So it's like I get it can get pretty technical once you get up into the or get into the weeds of a hammer throw. But yeah, I think man, yeah, I
Roughly how
honestly
much, Josh, let me ask you this, because I think the hammer is an extraordinary thing. How much does that thing weigh roughly?
the hammer is 16. So like all together, all the okay, so the ball is 16 pounds and the wire and the handle are kind of negligible, but yeah, it's all 16 pounds.
It's amazing. So imagine, just trying to put in perspective for the fans, imagine picking up a 16-pound bowling ball and trying to throw that as far as you possibly can uh,
Mm-hmm. Really
out
possible.
there. Yeah, I mean that's extraordinary to me. But in the other ones where, admittedly you said it took you a little more time, what's allowed you to maybe have that breakthrough though that you've started to have in those other those other throwing events?
I'd say for the big part, the coaches that have helped me along the way. I think it's a good thing that I've never had one coach, and for a little bit in high school, it was like Coach Liss. So I think it's a good thing that I've had the ability to like work with multiple coaches throughout my time because like one person will probably say the same will tell you the same way to correct the same things and like if I get a different coach they would probably try and introduce like new methods and new tricks for me to try and solve a problem that I'm working with. So it's good to like kind of get like multiple eyes on me throughout like different points in my life so that I'm not like constantly like stuck in like one like mind space for like how to fix a throw. So definitely the I've had like five or six coaches throughout my time. Um, had one in like middle school, I had two in high school. I've had like a private coach, and I've had Coach Campbell here, and I've had a couple or one other coach. I think I had one other coach briefly, but like all those coaches like help a lot, especially like just like their different viewpoints on how to like correct the throw and how to actually produce like a like a technique perfect throw.
For you, you come from one of the great cities in America, and I know you're obviously you're biased, because you come from there, but just how great is San Diego, man? I mean, I look, I'll give you the first time I went there, I'm so pumped. In fact, I'm looking at the media credential right now, March 11th, 2006. Okay, they tell you it's always warm, it's great. I go to do a Navy lacrosse game there. It's 35 degrees. It's the first time they've ever had to close I-5 because there's like ice on the road. They have no idea what to do. Every other time since then, though, it's been spectacular. But, obviously a lot of folks that, end up in the Navy certainly love to get out to San Diego if they have that choice. Just what is it like to live there and be there all the time in one of America's best cities?
Yeah, 100%. Best blessing I've ever received. And I'm sorry you had that bad experience over there. They say a couple, they say people
Mother
that come
Nature, man. You
they,
can't you
they,
can't
they,
you
they
can't
bring
predict
they bring
Mother
the weather
Nature.
with them. That's the thing. You come from the East Coast, bring the weather with you in San Diego. But there's 100% of weather tax, and I paid every time, because getting to go to high, man, you should have seen my wardrobe before I came here because me and my mom had to go buy jeans and jackets and all that stuff, uh, so I could be comfortable in the snow and the rain over here because I just didn't have that type of stuff. But it's amazing. I didn't know what an indoor season was. Never seen an indoor track until I came up here. Um, they always the beach is right there. I never went, and everyone always asked me why don't if I would live in San Diego, I could go to the beach every day. But it's at one point, it's it got to the point where it's the beach is not the best thing about San Diego. And it's find out a lot of other better things you could do. But living in San Diego is great, especially there's a lot of talent down there in Southern California, and just all sports. So soccer, track, and football and especially water polo and things like that. So it's a great place to be from. Great community. There's a lot of beautiful things you could do in San Diego, see in San Diego. So lucky to live there and just hang out and vibe with all the people that live down there. So amazing, so amazing. Love San Diego.
Yeah, you mentioned how long you played soccer. Were you always I mean, I got a son that's 6'7", so I mean, growing up, I know what that can be like. Were you always the biggest guy out there on the soccer pitch growing up, or did a growth spurt come later on out there?
No, yeah, I mean for the longest I was yeah, I was definitely the biggest guy. Soccer is predominantly, played by, long distance type of people, people that run for, a couple miles and, they can do all that stuff and they're really quick. So, I mean, there were definitely guys like me in soccer, but, I didn't get insanely heavy or insanely tall until middle of high school. So then it was kind of it didn't really it didn't really affect me. But throughout my time, growing up, I mean I was always taller than everyone else, but I could still keep up with all the people that were running because I had been playing since the very beginning. So it was it wasn't anything super new for me. But yeah, the I don't think I really ever ran into someone that was exactly my size in soccer, the same way you would run into someone like that in football or track and field. But I mean, it was a good cross training type of event because it teaches me how to be speedy and also it gives me the ability to run those long distances like that and just the hand-eye and the hand-foot coordination like that. So it was good, but yeah, I don't think I ever yeah there were not very many big people in soccer, so I kind of I was kind of known as that bully type of person. Yeah, I would get fouls called for me a good amount of times just because yeah the whole don't know your own strength or just because people could flop off of me easily. It's they could draw a good foul because oh my gosh, look at him, he's 6 foot something. It's what are you gonna
Josh, you
do?
hit on one of my pet peeves, man. Look, I'm a basketball official, and there are times where I have to tell the audience or a coach, we're not going to penalize the tall today. You
Thank
know,
you, thank
we're
you.
not going to
See,
penalize the tall today. That's exactly right.
it
You hit on one of my
hurts.
pet peeves out there.
It hurts. Yeah,
No
I mean,
doubt.
all the kids, they all know they try and draw a foul off that, and it's dude, I didn't do anything. It was all ball. It's two people come in like this, and obviously one goes sideways, and I'm still standing. But I mean, half the time they just throw their body like that. But I mean, sometimes,
Yes.
yeah, I did give it to some kids, but
And
I mean,
as we know, there are no one does more acting than soccer players. So,
yeah, truth.
it's
It's a skill to some people. It's a skill. So
no question.
that's really
Um,
good.
as a senior, the finish line is sort of on the horizon. It's kind of in the sight, you know. You had a family member went to the Naval Academy, and here you are, you know, almost on the verge of something that is an exclusive group. Literally thousands apply to come to the Naval Academy. Very select group every year get chosen to be this close to the finish line. uh, what does that accomplishment feel like? Because I imagine through the years, I mean, your class in particular, you all have been through an awful lot at the Naval Academy, and yet you all have persevered. The ones that are still here have all persevered together, and you're very nearly at the end of that journey. What does it feel like to have been able to accomplish this, not only just as a student there, but obviously the incredible things that you've accomplished as an athlete on top of that.
Yeah, definitely like one of my most proudest achievements so far, like making it to this point and still being on my feet because yeah, it's like a lot of my classmates, started dying off early, started wobbling, started losing faith, losing hope. So I'm happy that I'm just like still in it, don't not letting things get to me like COVID and all the isolation and all the stuff and all the classes, all the school, all the time spent, all the night like late nights, like not letting that stuff get to me is it's big and I appreciate, the fact that I'm able to do that type of stuff. Just like doing hard things is like kind of what we do. And I mean, I'm happy I enjoy it because I know a lot of classmates that weren't up for that type of stuff and they bowed out. Unfortunately. But I mean, super proud of myself, super happy that I was able, to make it to this point. And I'm looking ahead to the future, like super excited that I'll get to reap the benefits of graduating the Naval Academy, the whole like inner group of friends and all that stuff, but also at the same time like the leadership and like all the experience that I've gained from coming here. So super excited and super happy about the achievement.
Awesome stuff, big fella. Best of luck up in Boston this weekend to you and your teammates. I know a lot of folks will be rooting for you. Bring back some hardware this weekend.
For sure. Thank you so much, sir.